Hello you guys! I'm about to head out for my first day of Corepower Yoga Sculpt teacher training in Williamsburg. I am nervous. It's 3 hours, it's 5:30 to 8:30, and I think the rundown of the program today is probably to meet everyone, and I think we all get to take a sculpt class by the lead of the program. Her name is Alyssa. So I'm excited to do that and get a little movement in as well. I'm a little bit nervous, but more excited than anything. I've packed a notebook, a pen, my mat towel. I don't even think I need any of that, but yeah. I'm gonna keep you guys updated throughout the whole process because I know a lot of you guys are super curious about getting your certification, and I wanna be super honest and share as much as I possibly can. So let's go to Corepower. To give a little update on the Corepower training. 2 sessions down, both in the evening for 3 hours, and I'm going into my 3rd session this evening. It's Friday night, Corepower Friday night, 6:45 to 9:45 p.m. I feel like it's so fun, you guys. I'm having the best time. I feel like such a sense of community, which is really nice. Everyone in the group is like so sweet and funny, and I feel like people are like starting to open up a little bit more. I will say it's so like to learn all of this is like, of course it's hard. I kind of thought because I've taken so many classes, a lot of it would come like super easy to me, and a lot of things are, but a lot of things are like you don't even realize that like the inhales and the exhales and the way you have to say them all and like breathe at the same time. You need to practice so much. Like it's not just this training. What is gonna make you a teacher, a good teacher, or like learn the most? It's like practicing. So I swear to God, I literally will blow dry my hair and like say the whole part that I've learned out loud to try and practice, because we tried to practice last time and I literally froze and like couldn't do it. I'll try and practice on camera because that might be a good exercise, but basically we've learned our Sun A so far, just the beginning flow that you go through, and you do it once slow with giving like cues and then once like breath to movement. So the slow part is just a little bit harder because you're engaging and disengaging the breath. So you have to like remember to say all of that, and then you have to think of your own cues that you want to either get people into the pose or to like deepen the pose or correct some form. I will practice. So think that you're in downward facing dog. I would say inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Breathe here. Bring your palms to your shins or your knees. Gaze down at the ground in front of you to protect your neck. Open up through your shoulders to create a flat back. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Pause and breathe here. Reach your arms up over your head. Ground down through your feet to create a strong foundation. Relax your shoulders to create space between your ears. Squeeze your glutes to protect your lower back and engage your core. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your arms to heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Breathe here. Shift weight into the ball mounds of your feet. Option for a slight bend in the knees and open up through the backs of your legs. That wasn't so good. Inhale. Exhale. High to low plank. Step your feet back. Bend your arms to 90 degrees. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Breathe here. Flip your feet to meet the mat. Engage your upper thighs to lift them off the mat and gaze at the mirror in front of you. Exhale. Downward face. Inhale. Shit. Because you have to always inhale after you say pause and breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Bring your hips up and back. That wasn't that bad. That was actually pretty good. Like compared to all the other ones, that was pretty good. I'm excited about that one. I'm feeling ready to take on this evening. Also, I have a partner. His name is Jake and I love him. He is literally ironic, if you know, you know, but he's great and he's like the best partner. So we get to practice with each other and he's really silly and fun. So I like that. I'm excited for the session tonight, and then we have tomorrow off, and then we have 6 hours on Sunday. So I feel like that's gonna be like a big push and where we're gonna learn a lot and basically be there all day. I think we get like an hour lunch break. And I took Sculpt yesterday, and basically we are required to take 5 Sculpt classes during this training. You have to bring a notebook. You can either bring it into the class and like let the teacher know, or you can do it afterwards. And you like basically, I brought my journal in thinking I was gonna do it, but I was so sweaty, like I couldn't write. So I just like walked home, showered, and like journaled and basically made notes of what I liked that the teacher did or anything that I noticed. It was a super shoulders-based class, so I was like thinking about that a lot. I would like, she would say pause and breathe here, so I kind of copied that from her, because a lot of times people just say breathe here, and I like the pause. I feel like it's a gentle reminder to be like, okay, I'm breathing on my own. So far, so good. The first week of Corepower training is officially over. We had 7 hours of training yesterday, which I was so focused and didn't film. We went from 1 to 4:30, and then we had an hour break, and then we went 5:30 to 9 p.m. We have learned the entire Yoga Sculpt S1 sequence. That does not mean I know how to teach it yet, but we've learned it and we understand the order and the cues and the breath and all of that, which is pretty exciting. I spent this morning, it's now week 2, it's Monday, kind of writing it all out because I think that will help me remember it. What I'm mainly struggling with at the moment is cues. So when you're in a position being like, bring your belly button to your spine to engage your core, or, you know, press through your heels to create a stable foundation. That's actually the one cue I'm like really good at. Or I always say like gaze out in front of you to protect or to support your neck. But I have like a hard time coming up with them in the moment, especially for like glute bridges. I'm like, squeeze your butt at the top, when really you're supposed to like say why you're doing something. There's like a whole structure for how you're supposed to say like cues. So that's the main thing I need to work on, but I think writing it down and practicing will be super helpful with that. We have practice again tonight for 3 hours, and then we have the week free until Friday. We do 3 hours again, and then we have this weekend off. More of a chill week, more time to practice and maybe focus on the online course part of it. Hello, hello. So today I finished my 3rd Sculpt class that I've taken while doing this training. So while we're doing this training, we are required to take 5 Sculpt classes and journal about our experience during that Sculpt class, maybe cues that we liked, things we liked or noticed, things we didn't like or notice, which is cool. So I actually took Alyssa's class today with 2 other girls who are also doing the training, which was really fun. She's amazing, she's so good, and she also stuck to like the S1 sequence, which is what we are learning right now. And basically when you learn this sequence, I think if you become a teacher, you have to teach the basic sequence for a month before you can start like adding in your own flares, which teachers fully like have a Sculpt class that is like so far different from this S1 sequence, who've been doing it for years. And like it's super fun because I think it makes it, when you go into a class or you're someone who takes Sculpt, you know, 3 or 4 times a week, you're getting a different workout, a different class, a different vibe every single time, which I personally love about it. But Alyssa stuck pretty closely to the S1 sequence today, which I liked and is obviously helpful because that's what we're learning, and like the flow of the class was pretty much in that order. So that was super nice. I took a class yesterday from a teacher who was a sub who I've never taken before. I'm looking at what I wrote in my journal. I said I loved that she added a bird dog in the cat and cow sequence, which is when you extend like an arm and a leg and crunch it in, which we have not learned in ours. I said she did a full plank ab section like in the middle of class, which you don't do abs in the middle of class in the one we're learning. Really liked that. It was obviously really short because it was a plank the entire time, so you planked side plank, regular plank. She had short cardio but lots of energy. I said I loved how she sprinkled in mountain climbers. There's no mountain climbers in the S1 sequence. I love mountain climbers, so in my class I would love to have like a mountain climber, you know, like a burst of cardio like in between the Sculpt series, like when you do one Sculpt series on one side, maybe like a cardio like 30-second burst I think would be really nice. And then I noticed she did 1 set of tricep kickbacks, which you do 2 sets in the one we're learning, and then instead of the second she did like overhead. I should probably learn what these are called. Tricep extensions, I think. And then she included an arm stretching at the end, which we did not learn or have not learned, where you kind of do this. We usually just do like figure 4, supine twist, Shavasana. Alyssa's intention today, so we just learned intentions, and it's always really nice to like make it a bit personal, but she did community. For her intention today, you always have the option as a student to go with what the teacher provides you, or you can come up with your own intention. Hers was community today. She said a big part of that was because she had 3 teacher training students in her class, and it made like the vibe of the class great because you want to show up for your community and the people next to you taking the class. So I loved her intention, and it was all over a great class. So I'm going to just journal about it for a second. Is the last day of Corepower Sculpt yoga teacher training. I'm about to head there. We have 7 hours today, and then we graduate and have a little celebration at the end of the day, which is gonna be so fun. They told us to bring a snack, so I made homemade brownies. Well, from a box, but still homemade. And we tried them and they're pretty good. Oh, and there's shit all over my hands. Okay, final fit is this outfit from Live the Process. These shrugs are the best. They're from a brand called Strut This. I think it's on Revolve too. I can link it. But I'm so excited, you guys. This does not mean that we get to become a teacher. It just means that we've done the training. I think the next step to becoming a teacher is you audition when you feel ready, and there's auditions once a month. So I think we get some more info on that today. It flew by. It obviously was a lot of time, but I feel like I just started like a week ago, but it's been almost 4 weeks. Let's get over there. How do you feel on our final day?
We're feeling great.
This is Jake. He brought us Capri Suns. I made my brownies. Wow, I Dyson Airwrapped my hair and it looks like so floofy right now. I haven't done this in a bit. It also looks like so dark. I haven't done my hair in ages. Do you like it this dark or should I get some more highlights? Anyways, I wanted to kind of recap my Corepower Yoga Sculpt 50-hour teacher training for you guys because it ended yesterday, and this morning I submitted my online courses. I finished the final exam. It was only 13 questions, and did my final journal. The online portion of it, the videos are lengthy, but the quizzes and the journals are pretty quick and pretty simple and straightforward, and not something to stress about if you are signing up for this. I'm not sure when the next ones are or where they are, but definitely check online. I will link it below of where to learn about the teacher trainings. They also offer a 200-hour teacher training, and I think a 300-hour, and that is compliant with Yoga Alliance, which would allow you to teach at a lot of other studios as well. I would totally consider doing something like that in the future, but right now this is the one that worked with my schedule, and Yoga Sculpt is like my favorite class ever. I learned so much throughout this month of training. I feel like my practice has improved. I feel confident that I could teach a 60-minute Yoga Sculpt class. I am considering auditioning in April. The March audition is full, and I'm also not going to be in town. I'm flying to California, so I wouldn't be able to do the March one, and then the next one is in April. I'm potentially going to sign up for that one and audition to be a Sculpt instructor. To be a Sculpt instructor, you have to teach 2 classes per studio, so that is probably what I would aim to do to fit with my schedule. I would try and get 2 classes on a schedule at Williamsburg, but it is super competitive to teach at Williamsburg. Obviously the schedule's changing with all the different times and everyone else's schedules and teachers leaving and new teachers coming, so I have no idea what that will look like. I've already gotten a lot of Instagram questions asking when I'll be teaching and what my class times will be, and that is, I'm very far away from all of that, but I'm considering doing the audition in April. Stay tuned for that. I actually feel confident. We did a mock audition last night that if that had been my audition, I would have passed. They even told me that. You only teach a certain section when you audition, so you don't audition and teach a whole class, which is crazy because then you go and teach a full class and it's basically your first time doing it, which I think I would be so nervous and so overwhelmed, but everyone is. One of the leads of the teacher training told me that she cried after her first class, and that there was a teacher in her class and they're like, what are you doing? You can't be crying by the door. You need to go get yourself together. That could honestly be me. I get like super emotional when I'm overwhelmed, so I feel like something like that could happen to me. But honestly, you guys, it was such an amazing experience. Even if you do it to not teach, so many people in the teacher training aren't probably going to become a teacher. It's just an amazing experience, especially community-wise. I met so many new friends who live in Williamsburg, who live near me, who live a block away from me. I really enjoyed it. Everyone was so kind. It was so inclusive. It was so welcoming. I had the best time. And I actually went to every single session. You were allowed to miss 2. A lot of people missed them. Some people got sick. Some people had like prior obligations. I'm really happy I was able to go to every single one of them, because I feel like even when we weren't learning new materials, I would hear things and I would like remember them and learn them better. It would really like stick into my brain, even though it didn't feel like I was learning a whole bunch of new material. Like music and beats per minute or certain things that they would talk about that I feel like being at each session so helped me, and helped me with having to maybe practice less outside of the teacher training, which I still need a bunch of practice. I'm planning to teach an entire class for Gracie's bachelorette in Palm Springs, so hopefully that goes well. I feel like that'll be super good experience. I also want to practice on James. I want to practice on my sister. I want to practice on my dad. We'll see how all of that goes, but you guys, it was such an amazing experience. If you're considering doing it, I really recommend it. It was great. I was so happy to do something like that for myself at the top of this year. I feel really good that I did it. It was not as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Like each class, like sometimes it sucked having to go there at 6:45 and knowing I was gonna be there till 10 p.m. But it flew by, and it's because it's something you want to do. It's like exciting and not like dreadful. So I think if you're considering doing it, definitely do it. And if you are a teacher, let me know. I would love to come take your classes. I will keep you guys posted if I end up becoming an instructor, of course. But I hope you liked this video, and please, any questions that you guys have about my experience, how to sign up, anything that I could maybe try and help answer or point you in the right direction, please comment and I will get back to you. Love you guys.